The decrepit woman living in the cave, adjacent to the Sea of Dreams, ran past me as she dropped one of the many small bottles she was clutching onto, kneeling by her poorly made campfire. I watched in awe as she threw the rest of the bottles in, and a fierce violet and sapphire smoke erupted from the flames, throwing her hard against a tree. A trail of blood dripped down her cheek as the fire seemed to retreat back into the scorched earth. Picking up what she tried so hard to destroy, the emerald liquid captivated me. Just one taste. There were no instructions, just a small glass bottle starting to sparkle from the light of the rising sun. I pulled off the cork and tipped it gently onto my finger. I licked it off. It was a little more than a drop, but I needed to know the danger. What else was I to do, with us being the only two on this island? As I was playing in the sand, days after the horrific incident, I saw him, my drug. His wavy black hair and his narrow hazel-green eyes, the way his growing moustache hovered over his plump lips. He danced in the waves with every movement of the wind. I reached for him, drowning my hand in the water. No effect. I didn't even touch him, but he smiled at my effort. I tried to talk to him, but he pointed to his ears, obviously indicating that he couldn't hear me. Instead, I tried to draw out the words on the sand, but when he responded, all I could hear were the bubbles of water. At the end of the day, we just decided to mouth our words and make faces at each other. As the sun was setting, I tickled the waves and motioned goodbye. I barely slept that night, looking up at the stars through the sky roof of my hut, thinking of him. That was just the beginning. We did this every day till sunset, until he pointed at me and kissed the surface of the water. All of me ached for his touch. I cried uncontrollably every night, screaming into my pillow, cursing the ocean for separating us. The following day, as we had our usual conversations, I stepped into the water. My ankles, knees, shoulders, and neck are now completely submerged. I looked down to find him telling me to go back to the sand, mouthing the words, something along the lines of, "No escape." For 5 months, I had to cry myself to sleep due to his physical absence. I needed him. I didn't even know he existed, but I've never craved anyone so much in my life. The amount of oxytocin flowing through my veins when I saw him, erupting each day, was unbearable. I was convinced he loved me, and I refused to die without the bondage of our skin. But my death. If I was wrong, would I be leaving him in the ocean without me? What will he do? Would he leave? Could he? With endless thoughts consuming my mind, I refused to think for another second before plunging my head below the surface, waiting for him to grab me or anything to happen, really. I got my wish as I sank deeper and deeper into the water and my vision faded out, finally becoming black. As my body hit the floor, my prayer was confirmed when I felt cold, wet fingers intertwine with my own.